y'all doing? Oh man, so good to be home, man. Pleasure to be sharing space with you and to share some music. And for those of you who don't know, we've been on a little tour, so this is like stop number 9 for us. So we're a little warmed up for you guys. So I'm going to introduce you to these amazing musicians that have been joining me on the road. On the trumpet, you're listening to Johnny Woodham. On the drums, Mr. Peter Hill on the drums. And on the bass, that's brother man David Rapport on the bass. And on the saxophone, our special guest, Mr. Robin Port on the sax. So I'm gonna continue with some music from my sophomore album I released in October 2024 called Who We Are. Oh yeah, alright. It's a bit of a gap from the first album. I wanted to take my time with it this time because I feel like there was a lot to process and a lot to process and a lot to kind of get into. I mean, not just internally, but kind of what we've all been going through collectively, you know what I mean? And kind of reaffirming what it means to be an artist, what it means to play this music, and, you know, during such trying times and uncertain times. So, you know, every single song has a message behind it and has some type of meaning to it, and, you know, it's taken a lot of love and care and time to make this album, and this tour has been absolutely incredible, and yeah, it just made me realize, man, it's worth the wait. So as long as it takes to make something, you know, that's it, you got to do it, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, that's it. So the track I just played was called Autumn. I mean, I guess it's about I know it's about the 2 weeks of sun that we get as a Londoner. Then as soon as that 2 weeks is over, it's autumn again, and then it kind of signifies that period of kind of like, oh, winter's coming, you know, hibernation, and then that cycle of it becoming spring again, and that sense of renewal kind of comes around. So I'm gonna continue with another track of mine. It's about letting go and just getting engaged in the spirit of music collectively. This is called Take It Higher. Thank you, London. This is Shady White on the vocals. guys good? Man, thanks so much for coming, man. Really appreciate you all being here, ramming the place out. It's David Branco on the bass. That was a tune of mine called Synchronicity. Guess growing up in London, I got too used to just being able to like go on a train and hear like 5 different languages. I thought that was a normal thing, but it's only when I started to travel, I realized that was a very unique experience. And just the fact that, you know, all these different clash of cultures and different personalities constantly rubbing together, you know, it shouldn't work on paper, but like somehow we managed to find a way. So the synchronicity is a reflection of that. The next tune I'm going to play, actually got asked to do this for a TV show, and at first I said no, because in my mind, like, you know, the people who I consider to be like the gods of this music, you shouldn't touch their stuff, in my opinion, you know what I mean? And so I respectfully declined, but I was still like, kind of touching on the idea, listening to the song over and over again, and then I just felt that message, and it made me realize how it still rings true to today's international struggle for freedom, you know, and it's so much more, has much more broader meaning, and can be not just tied down to one place, you know. So I decided to do it, and but I didn't want to regurgitate it in a way that it was played back then. You know, I'm not really for that. I wanted to reflect today's times and put my own spin on it, as I do. So this is Mississippi Got Down by Nina Simone. Thank you. It's a heart flowing as one, moving, feeling, bearing, far, life has begun. Now we all will sing the same song. Now we all will sing the same song. Now we all will sing the same song. Now we'll all sing the same song. Same song. Ooh, all right, that was a tune of mine called Same Old Song. I wrote that in the height of, that forced isolation thing that happened. And it was kind of just like dancing around the idea of like how we're gonna flow together as a unit again. And I think we're still trying to figure that out. I want to bring up a very, very special guest. In my opinion, she's one of the great vocalists we have on the planet. She's been a long time collaborating with me for a very, very long time. Please make some noise for the incredible Julie Jackson. Were you there? It's like this jam session at Ronnie's. There were like all these like pop stars there. Julie gets up, kicks all of their asses and then leaves. I should have filmed that. Yeah. Yeah, man. This next tune I'm gonna play is I wrote it around the idea of like this push and pull relationship between artists and institutions. And regardless of like how inhospitable these institutions or structures can be to artists, especially, like, you know, what really interests me is that the code in which they speak to get that message to us through those structures in order to evoke some type of change. You know, I have this conversation a lot with peers of mine and my mentors, and yeah, man, about passing the torch and carrying on that message. You know, this is called Love at Best Biennale. Thank you, London. Johnny Wood and Robin Porter. Time's flown, man, literally. We've come to the last tune of the set, but before I play out the last tune, I just need to shout out everybody, especially these guys that have with me on stage right now, because yeah, this is like the last day of the European tour, and I couldn't have asked for a better group of musicians to travel with, play with, and spend time with. Like, these guys have been absolutely incredible, like on and off stage. Like, for me, making an album and recording it, doing the recorded version of things is like 20% of it, and then, you know, after that, the rest of it is, you know, you take it on the road, and as the artist and the producer, composer, you have to set it free, and then you have to give it away to the right people to kind of bring it to life. And, you know, these guys, they put so much, like, not even just the time that they put into their craft, but a lot of, like, attention to detail, care, love, and commitment that they put into the music and their playing. And, you know, there's a lot of great players out there, but there's not a lot of great musicians, you know. So you've been listening to Johnny Woodham on the trumpet. Mr. Peter Hill on the drums. Mr. David Rackford on the bass. Please make some noise for Robin Porter on the sax. And Shepard White on the vocals. And Julie Jackson. And I'm actually Henry, thank you so much. Live musicians, venues, we really appreciate it, we don't take it for granted at all. This is the part where I say I have much for sale, but I have a batch of vinyl that's stuck at the French border, long story. Brexit and all that. But as soon as I get it, I'll let you guys know. I just need to shout out everyone behind the scenes. I want to shout out my manager Derek, my tour manager Paul, everyone at Touring Solutions, everyone at Believe, Naive Records, my partner Vasundra for holding me down, my parents Paul and Gloria Henry, and I wish a happy birthday to my mum too. So the last tune I want to leave with you guys is a track that I wrote on my first album a while back with an amazing songwriter called Milton Suggs, and it's about keeping that sense of optimism regardless of what's going on in the outside world, to keep you moving forward. And I feel like it's still relevant to today, you know, and I just want you guys to leave with that sense of optimism when you leave here, you know, regardless of what's going on in the outside world or in your life, you know, to keep pushing on, man. This is called I Still Believe. London, thank you so much. Johnny Woodham, Pete Hill, David Randall, Robin Porter, Shane White, Julie Jackson, and Ashley Henry. Much love. Thank you. Porter, Robert Porter, Shady White, Judy Jackson, and Mashi Henry. Much love to all, thank you so much.